The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Jets select. That's right. Todd McShay has the Jets picking number 1 in 2026. Are you kidding me? We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on a Friday. I apologize for my voice. As a pumped-up Knicks fan, I lost it screaming for number 11 last night. Shout out to all my fellow Jet Knick fans out there. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But we're going to start the show with a quick reminder to everyone out there who wants to join us at our next Asmaniac meetup. We're headed to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, June 29th. We have tickets available, exclusive for Patreon users. One of the perks of your membership is exclusive access to events like this Yankees game on June 29th. There's about 30 tickets left. So if you join the Patreon, you'll see right on the dashboard of the Patreon after you sign up, the link to purchase your tickets. They are $125. They're in section 223. We'll have a pregame meetup at Billy's Sports Bar right before. I believe by the end of the weekend, we won't have any left. If there are any left, I will open it up to everyone in the YouTube chat on the next show. But if you want to join, I would lock in your spot today. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. You also can find all the info on the Discord under the announcement tab. So, hope to see you guys at Yankee Stadium on June 29th. With that said, let's talk about the first mock draft in 2026. Now, I would never talk about a mock draft in 2026 under normal circumstances because I think it's totally pointless. Totally pointless. We have no idea how the upcoming season is going to play itself out. None whatsoever. However, I think it's actually worth talking about because I have some thoughts on how big of a disaster it would be if the Jets actually are the worst team in the NFL and they're picking first overall. So let me give Todd McShay a break here. This mock draft that has the New York Jets picking number 1 is strictly based off of FanDuel's Super Bowl odds, using the reverse of those Super Bowl odds with some adjustments to get an even number for NFC and AFC teams at the bottom of the draft due to how the playoffs work. But if you look at the odds on FanDuel, the Jets have the lowest odds to win the Super Bowl, which means they're projected to pick number 1. Now, do I think the New York Jets are going to be a great team in 2025? I have some real doubts. Do I think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL? Absolutely not. They weren't the worst team in the NFL when they should have been the worst team in the NFL. The worst team I've ever watched in my lifetime. Worst point differential in franchise history back in 2020. They will not be the worst team in the NFL in 2025, period. If they are the worst team in the NFL in 2025, forget some of you in the chat right now being like, great, we could take a quarterback. We could take Arch Manning. And some thoughts on him coming up because I have doubts he's even coming out. That would mean Aaron Glenn can't coach. That's what that would mean. If the Jets are somehow, with this roster, that despite what maybe some think nationally, still has legitimate blue chip talent on it, are the worst team in the National Football League, it means that somehow we have downgraded at head coach going from Robert Saleh to Aaron Glenn. And I don't care at that point if the Jets are the worst team in the NFL, that Aaron Glenn was a great player for the Jet organization. We have to separate at that point the player from the head coach. Do I think Aaron Glenn is that bad of a head coach? I don't. Do I think he's a great coach? I have no idea. He's once again a first-timer stepping into this job. He's qualified. Now we have to hope they got it right. We don't know. But they can't be picking first overall. That would be an unmitigated disaster of a 2025 season. If you thought 2024 was bad, you know how miserable we're going to be? If they're even worse? We're talking about winning 3 games or less if they're picking first overall. That's brutal. Oh, my God. Like, there's no way the Jets' odds should reflect the worst team in the NFL. There's no way. They have arguably a top 10 offensive line in the league. They have arguably, and I don't even think it's arguable, they have a legit number 1 wide receiver. They still have a very good running back in Breece Hall. Their defense has an all-pro in Quinton Williams, an all-pro in Sauce Gardner, an all-pro in Quincy Williams, a legit talent in Jermaine Johnson, a legit talent in Will McDonald, a legit talent in Jamie Sherwood, a legit talent in Michael Carter. How are they the worst team in the NFL? How does that happen? Unless you tell me something extreme like Justin Fields out for the year, Tyrod Taylor out for the year, and the Jets are down to their 3rd quarterback. Brady Cook is having to start. How are they the worst team in the NFL? So they might have the lowest Super Bowl odds, but they're not picking number 1 overall. Maybe the odds are built on the fact the AFC, in my opinion, is still better than the NFC. In the AFC, you still have to get through Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in your own division. You have Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, maybe Aaron Rodgers. It's a way better conference from just the quarterback standpoint. That's why I believe the odds reflect the way they do. But this team should not be under any circumstance the worst team in the NFL. If they do, then we have major problems about our coach. Who cares about having the first pick? If you're the worst team in the league, that first pick's going to fail like Zach Wilson failed and Sam Darnold failed, because you're going to be coming into a spot where you have no faith, and you shouldn't at that point in this coaching staff if they're that bad. No chance. So with that said, I'm now going to tell you what McShay has the Jets doing in this first 2026 mock. And even McShay notes he does not believe the Jets are going to be in this spot. If they are, though, yes, they're going to take a quarterback. People will say, trade out, get a haul. You need the quarterback. That's it. You need the quarterback. You could turn it around quickly if you get the right quarterback. The Commanders were not a quarterback away when they took Jaden Daniels. Guess what? They were. The guy's that good. CJ Stroud, Texans, year 1. Picking 2nd overall. They won a playoff game his first year. Won a playoff game his 2nd year. Okay? So let's now look at what McShay has the Jets doing. With the first pick in the draft, the Jets take LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Quote, I have my hesitations on the Jets' ceiling with Justin Fields next year, but the floor is a whole hell of a lot higher than this projection by FanDuel. But that's a different discussion for a different day. Back to the exercise. I'm surprised to see people aren't higher on Nussmeier heading into the season. He and Lenora Sellers are the 2 quarterbacks I'm the most intrigued to see develop next season. Nussmeier's anticipation and ball placement in the face of pressure intrigued me the most. If he takes the next step in 2025, he will be in the mix for QB1. If they are this bad, they're going quarterback. Is it going to be Nussmeier? I have no idea. A year ago, Carson Beck was a surefire first-round pick, according to some. Quinn Ewers was a first-round pick, according to some. Carson Beck probably goes undrafted if he came out. Instead, he goes back to school. Quinn Ewers fell to the 6th round. You just never know. Shedeur Sanders, top 3 pick. Where was he picked? Oh, the 5th round? So you just never know which quarterbacks are actually going to live up to the hype when we're projecting a year out, legitimately a year out. That said, this is the path for the Jets if they are somehow this god-awful in 2025. They'll take a quarterback because Fields at that point would prove he's not the guy. Maybe he starts the year as the bridge. He's under contract. But they're going quarterback in this scenario. 1,000%. Now, I want to give you guys the rest of McShay's top 10 here because I agree with a point that he raised. At number 2, the Saints are on the clock, and they take a safety, Caleb Downs. I don't know enough about Caleb Downs to know if a safety should ever go 2nd overall. I have doubts. Number 3, Giants take interior defensive lineman Peter Woods from Clemson. I mean, the Giants are going quarterback here if they're picking this high again. I don't think Jackson Dart is saving Dable and Shane. It'd be a new regime that didn't draft him. But that's besides the point. At pick 4, the Rams are on the clock because McShay, this is just wild to even talk about. McShay has them making a deal with the Titans and moving up because the Rams have all these extra picks from fleecing the Falcons in the draft this year. And he has them taking quarterback Lenore Sellers from South Carolina. He's a name to watch. At 5, the Browns are on the clock. They take Cade Klubnik, quarterback from Clemson. At 6, the Panthers take offensive tackle Francis Mauigoa from Miami. At 7, Raiders take quarterback Drew Aller, Penn State. At 8, Colts take offensive tackle Blake Miller, Clemson. At 9, Browns from the Jaguars in this deal for Travis Hunter take edge TJ Parker from Clemson. And at 10, Patriots draft edge rusher Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami. Now, why am I bringing up the top 10? Because this year we had one quarterback go in the top 10. We had one quarterback go in the first 25 picks of the first round. An early look at next year, quarterback goes 1, quarterback goes 4, quarterback goes 5, quarterback goes 7. We're talking about 4 quarterbacks, at least right now, being projected to go in the top 10. Which was my point on why I never thought, if it wasn't Cam Ward, the Jets were in the mix for a quarterback in the first round this year. It's a way better class next year. The Jets know this. They evaluated it. They look at it very simple. This year's class, not worth it. Next year's class, way better. If it doesn't work out with Fields, you're going to try and get your quarterback in 2026. And also, the Jets don't necessarily need to be picking in the top 10 to get a quarterback. You could trade up. We've seen it. The last time the Jets had sustained success, had they find Mark Sanchez, they traded up. Had the Buffalo Bills get Josh Allen, coming off a playoff season where they snuck in as the 6th seed with Tyrod Taylor, ending a 17-year drought. Could Justin Fields do that for the Jets and the Jets still say, look, we like you, Justin, but we think to take the next step, we want to get someone behind you? Sure. Right? Point is, 4 quarterbacks are going in the top 10 next year, at least right now. And once again, this is all subject to change. But it's a way better class. And that was part of the reason why they signed Fields. They know this. Fields, 26, upside, maybe could be the guy. If he's not, we'll get our guy in 2026. Period. End of story. But I want to focus in on something very specific here. and I'll repeat it again for those just tuning in. If the Jets are as bad as this mock has them being, Aaron Glenn should be one and done because he's not the guy. People are going to say, what? No way. If the Jets are the worst team in football, not that they traded up to number one, right? They are the worst team in the NFL. Aaron Glenn is not the guy. He's not. Get rid of him and finally bring someone in with experience that can fix this, because that job would be incredibly attractive if you say to the head coach, pick your quarterback, let's go. So I am not rooting for this. I want Aaron Glenn to be awesome. But if we are in a spot where the Jets are actually this bad, we don't have a head coach. The entire coaching staff needs to once again be fumigated. Goodbye, so long, see ya. And if you think that Aaron Glenn survives this fan base being the worst team in the NFL, I got news for you. Ain't happening. So they got to win games. And I like the approach of bringing in Fields if you were going to move on from Rodgers. And this team's not going to be this bad. There's no way. How are they this bad? With the amount of talent I've referenced on defense, with the talent they have on offense, their O-line alone should help them win games. Run the football. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, Justin Fields can run. He had 1,100 yards in the season. They will not be this bad. There's no way. No chance. No way. But the odds are the odds, and that's what McShay based the mock off of. They do have the lowest Super Bowl odds at FanDuel Sportsbook in the NFL. Facts are facts. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Huge shout out to everyone on Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you get your name added to the intro. So I'm going to send Gator the list of names at the end of the day. So if you want to be added for the month of May, join the Patreon. John E., Big Cho, Bill P., Taylor D'Onofrio, Peggy McGuire, Dominic D'Angelo, Orlando G., an Australian Jets fan, all our Patreon members. Thank you all for your support. If you want to join us at Yankee Stadium on June 29th, lock in your spot. It is going to be an awesome, awesome day. Here's a view from our seat, by the way, for the Yankees and the Sacramento / Oakland / soon-to-be Vegas, maybe, Athletics. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Before we get to your calls, and I will read some of your comments in response to this mock draft, let's pause and talk about today's sponsor, The Perfect Jean.
Trust me, you'll never go back to your Levi's after you try these. The Perfect Jean is known for its unique denim fabric that stretches for comfort when you're on the go.
I want to feel comfortable in my jeans. The Perfect Jean provides a size for everyone.
You can literally choose the color, style, and size. It doesn't get any easier than buying these jeans.
Do yourself a favor and stop wasting money on jeans that you'll stop wearing after one wash. Get the Perfect Jean.
Folks, these are the best jeans. Period. The Perfect Jean. Promo code ASMAN15 will save you 15% off. And I want to highlight something for the hefty fellas that tune into this show. They come in 6 different fits, 13 washes, waist sizes up to 50 inches, and lengths up to 36. So we're talking about over 5,000 combinations of jeans. So summer's around the corner. Spring is here. Update the wardrobe. Let's go, baby. The Perfect Jean. 15% off. Support the sponsor because they support me. The Perfect Jean always has free shipping, exchanges, and returns. So you can have peace of mind knowing that your order is completely risk-free. Once again, 15% off your first order plus free shipping. perfectjean.nyc. Promo code ASMAN15. The perfectjean.nyc/ASMAN15. It's linked in the description. It's on your screen, and it's the pinned comment as well. Thanks to everyone who supports our sponsors, and thank you to The Perfect Jean for sponsoring today's program. All right, we'll open it up. Phone lines open. Call in if you haven't already. Chris J says, Yankee tickets secured. Chris, we'll see you in the Bronx, my man. Appreciate you. I got the alert that you bought your ticket. Julian with a $20 super chat. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5 with this one. Let's go, baby. Going for some more helmets. Love the show. Great draft party. Thank you, Julian. The top prize this week is a full-sized Broadway Joe Namath helmet. Throwback helmet. The second place prize is a signed Justin Fields helmet. The third place prize is a signed Joe Klecko helmet. The fourth place prize is an autographed Aaron Glenn photo. 4 prizes in this week's raffle. Doug with an Asmaniac super chat. Doug been around for 19 months and counting, baby. Caleb Downs is the best football player in next year's draft, hands down. He will be the first non-quarterback off the board. He's a freak. I get it, but he's a safety, no? Dominic with a super chat. Dominic, thanks for joining the Patreon. McShay, Garrett is the jelly to Mason Taylor's peanut butter. Peanut butter Taylor, baby. Now, Dominic sent me this design. I was waiting for the right opportunity to show it on the show. Mason Peanut Butter Taylor. What are people's thoughts on this on a t-shirt? This was Dominic's design. Let Dominic know in the comments. Should I add this to the merch store? Would you purchase this? If you're not watching live, comment down below and timestamp this moment. Beastbreaker says, I love peanut butter. I could have figured that one. Update says, even crazier. Adam Gase going to get us the number 1 pick. Then why would AG lead us to the number 1 pick? Exactly. There's just no way the Jets are going to be that bad. Wrong Verb says, Jets are better than expected, but not as good as we secretly hoped. So they what, 7-10? David says, what are the chances the same injury bug that decimated Detroit rears its ugly head in one Jets drive? How am I supposed to answer that, David? I don't know. I mean, if you have injury-prone players, they're more likely to get injured, but sometimes injuries just happen in football. It's freakish. M123. I love how we have to talk about being the worst team in football next season. It's so Jets. They won't be the worst team in football. They won't. Hennessy says the experts will be wrong again like last year. Well, this past year, everyone thought the Jets were going to be good. Now they think we're going to suck. So hopefully the opposite occurs, right? Webb says, when is game 1 for the Knicks? Monday night in Boston. Jetaholic says, peanut butter, ice cream, and soda, my guilty pleasures. I can see that. Purple Ball Mike, if we go 3-14, I don't think we'll ever be good. Yeah. I mean, be tough to feel like we have the right coach if they're that bad. The coaching is everything, as we know. Let's get to your call, shall we? Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline's open. Doug on the couch. Start us off today, Douglas.
Jake, how are you doing this morning? I know.
What's up, Doug?
Not much. One quick non-football thing. I know you're a Yankees fan, and I know he has to do it in postseason. What Aaron Judge is doing is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. To me, he's the best hitter I've ever seen that's not on steroids in my lifetime.
I agree. And I know that he has to do it in the playoff. He has to do better, but we can still appreciate what he's doing in the regular season because it's unprecedented.
Of course, yeah. If you can't appreciate it, like also they wouldn't be able to make the playoffs at the rate they have and win the division without him. So it's like, sure, he's got to hit in the playoffs and he's had moments in the playoffs, but he hasn't had that A-Rod 09 yet that he needs. But I mean, he's one of the greatest right-handed hitters ever. Like, it's amazing what he's doing.
Then I got one hockey thing, then I'll get to football. What do you want the Islanders to do this offseason? Assuming the new GM kicks out Wah, what do you want them to do? Because the Rangers had a great hire this morning, I think, in Sullivan. But
I agree.
Roster, but what do you want the Islanders to do coach-wise?
I want them to pick the GM first and let that GM decide. Because I don't think Wah's necessarily a bad coach. Maybe there's a way that they could coexist.
Mm-hmm. And then, so I brought up in the super chat, Caleb Downs, I know he's a safety, but he's just such a difference maker at safety and such an athletic freak and instinctual. He'll be the first non-QB off the board. I know safety is not a position of value, but he's that good of a football player. where it's like you take him and he's going to be an All-Pro Hall of Famer. More than Saquon. I know like the Saquon thing, and I mean Gettleman was kind of right because Saquon is going to end up being a Hall of Famer, but you just don't take positional value running back too. But Caleb Downs is that good of a football player where you don't even care that he's a safety.
I look, if the Jets are in that spot, I would trade out before I would take him.
That's fair. And then like I don't think the Jets are going to be one. I think the only way they get up to one is with a trade. But I think they're going to be I think they're going to be in that 7 to 10 range. Max wins would be 10. I think they're going to go 8 and 9 or 9 and 8 though. Is my gut feeling on the season. And they're like
8 and 9. Let's see where 8 and 9 would have them picking. Probably would be what, like in the teens? That'd be like
15, 16. And I think they're going to be battling for that 7th playoff spot and like be out of it by like week 15 or week 16.
I think getting off to a good start would be imperative.
Yeah. Again, we have to see what the schedule is like too when it comes out. And it's like, we have no idea how teams are going to look come the season because we always say, this is an easy schedule. This is a hard schedule. We have no idea what teams are going to be like when the schedule comes out. All we know is they're playing one game in London.
That's what we know. And we know that they're going to play their division opponents at home.
We know who they're playing. We just don't know when. And like, again, you don't know what teams are going to look like. No one thought the Broncos were going to be as good as they were last year. So you just don't know how good teams are going to be coming into the season.
Correct. The schedule last year we thought was front loaded to be pretty soft for the Jets. And it turns out some of the teams they lost to, like Minnesota was really good last year. We didn't think they were at the time. Thought they were a fraudulent 5-0. Denver, I thought they were terrible. Turned out they actually were a pretty good football team, made the playoffs. Now the Jets should have still beat them that day, but you just never know.
So it's really interesting. I think my ideal for this season, hopefully it doesn't start as bad, but it goes as the Detroit a couple years ago before they had the huge season. So like maybe they start a little slow, but finish off hot, finish 9 and 8, maybe just miss the playoffs or make the playoffs. Like that would be
9 and 8 would tell us a lot. You feel like you have a real coach if you go 9 and 8.
Yeah, if you go 9 and 8 and you just miss the playoffs, you could be like, okay, we were in it. There's obviously building blocks here. That means Justin Fields probably had a pretty good year, and okay, we're going forward with him. Or you feel like, we can do better. And like you said, next year's quarterback is crazy, or it's a 2-year contract for Fields. You wait till 2027 when a lot of people think Arch is going to come out and try and trade up for Arch. But
thank you for bringing up Arch, because that's what I want to hit on next. Doug, good call. I meant to do this in the monologue. McShay does not have Arch in the top 10. If Arch comes out, he might be 1-1, right? McShay doesn't have Arch coming out. There's a thought that Arch Manning is going to be a starter for 2 years in college. That there's no rush for Arch Manning to leave. And that's part of this too, right? So even without, that's the point I've been trying to make on this class next year being perceived to be a lot better. Even with Arch Manning not in the mock draft because McShay thinks he's going to stay in school, we're still talking about 4 QBs in the top 10. That's why the Jets didn't take a quarterback this year. They went with the upside of Fields. Probably only a 20% chance he's the guy. Okay, it's better than the 1% chance that Marcus Mariota or Kirk Cousins or any of the other terrible options we talked about, Daniel Jones, are the guy. So the thing with Arch is this. With NIL and his last name being Manning, he's making plenty of money. He doesn't need to take a pay cut to stay in college. He's making pretty good money. All right. Arch Manning is probably making over $5 million a year. I don't have his NIL up. He's doing pretty well in college. And I'd imagine they went to Texas with the calculated idea of playing for Steve Sarkisian, who's an offensive genius, and that will help get Arch ready for the NFL. That's the plan. He'll stay in school for 2 years and get 2 years of development. Remember, Peyton and Eli both stayed in school an extra year and surprised people at the time with those decisions. So I don't even know if Arch is coming out. So for those saying tank for Arch, I don't even know if Arch is coming out. And do we know that the Mannings want Arch to be a Jet? So Arch still has 3 more years of eligibility. Either he'll start this year and next year and then maybe come out after that. He'll leave with 1 year of eligibility left. So it just speaks volumes about the quarterback class, though, because we're talking about Arch Manning being the consensus top guy in many people's minds. If he doesn't come out, there still might be 4 other guys worthy of top 10, top 15 picks. Super chat from Henny. All the Brunson haters, suck it. The most clutch New York City superstar athlete since Derek Jeter. And the best closer in New York since Mariano Rivera. And I think it's fair to say this. There'll be no Knick that will ever wear number 11. Now, they got to help Brunson in this series coming up. They are huge underdogs against Boston. I think it's a miracle if the Knicks could even get it to 6 games, just being honest. I hope I'm wrong. But things change fast in the playoffs. Injury could happen. We saw the Raptors win a championship with Kawhi that one year he was there when Durant and Clay both got hurt in the NBA Finals. Like, you never know. That's why you play the games. Can you steal one in Boston? You just won 3 games in hostile Detroit. Can you punch the Celtics in the mouth and steal one of the 2 and give yourself a chance, 1-1, going back to the Garden? But in all likelihood, they're not beating Boston. But you play the games for a reason. Kyle Clifton in the Asmaniac raffle for 2. Can we get some memberships flowing today, baby? Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. You never know when someone might make it rain. More than that, if we're picking first, we definitely have to take a step back and take a hard look at whether we're overvaluing our players like Sauce, Garrett, JJ, Brees, AVT, etc. I agree, Kyle. If they're that bad, everything should be on the table in regards to trading them. And getting a huge haul and starting over. That's why I don't think it's going to happen. Les Komar says the Jets have too many players who have not reached their full potential because of coaching, especially on the offensive side. I'm optimistic. I agree. Coaching and development is imperative for this team to be any good. I mean, it's everything. If they can't go out there and develop the talent that they have on the offensive line, can't run the football with good schemes, can't maximize what Fields does well. He's an elite runner. They don't have a shot. And Glenn's talked such a big game about his coaching ability and his staff's coaching ability. Do we have to see it? Nate with a super chat. Brunson's so good, you'll be seeing little white kids named Jalen walking around New York City in 10 years. I tweeted it last night, Nate. Firstborn child's name. Jalen. How many dogs are going to be nicknamed Brunson, by the way? That's a great dog name. Jamal says, can we stop with this coaching will solve everything BS? The roster has glaring holes and it's talent deficient, period. When you say glaring holes, where do you think the holes are? I think they have some holes like every team. Are they glaring, though? That's the question. I think they don't have a number 2 wide receiver. Well, they're going to run the crap out of the football. They still do have Garrett Wilson. They have a really good offensive line that can help mask maybe not having great playmakers at times if, to quote Brian Baldinger, they create a cradle of love for Justin Fields, right? There's holes on this team. There's no doubt, Jamal. There's a reason why I don't think this is a playoff team. But are they the worst team in the NFL? That's what we're talking about here. I don't think they are. I'm not as high on the Jets as some of the pie in the sky people are. But I don't think they're the worst team in the NFL. No way. Eric says, even if we're picking number 1, or if we're picking number 1, I want a new offensive head coach. I agree. If they're bad enough to be the first team in the NFL draft, last place team, first pick, hire the best offensive mind and let that guy work with the quarterback. And yeah, other areas of the football team are important. Hire a great defensive coordinator and bring in the head coach to work with the quarterback. And if that head coach is not good enough to eventually get the Jets over the top, at least we have a franchise quarterback that a real legitimate qualified head coach would want to work with. We're talking about something that's like 5 years down the line. But if they're first overall in 2026, you're taking a quarterback and you're hiring an offensive-minded coach to work with that quarterback. And then you go out there, and if 3 years after that he's not getting it done, at least you have a franchise quarterback that is ready. You have Justin Herbert, and then you need Jim Harbaugh to take you over the top. That type of example. Oh, man. Hit the like button if you haven't. I'm tired of hearing how much talent we have. Time for them to actually use the talent and win games. Coaching was horrendous, but effort was lacking last year from the players. At times it was. At times it also was awful coaching. Bad luck. Greg Zuerlein, 35 of 38 in 2023. Worst kicker statistically in the NFL last year before they finally cut him. Or sorry, put him on IR. And by the way, he's still on the team. Now, I wonder if June 1st they release him, they save a little money then, or they're going to let Zuerlein compete with someone in training camp. That's the question. There is no one on hold right now, so if you want to call in, there's never been a better time. Joseph says, I'm putting money on the Jets making the playoffs. FanDuel has them going number 1. What are the odds they make the playoffs? Do you have that pulled up? Mark is predicting 10-7. Please sign me up for that. Tom A says, I'm naming my first kid Nate, parentheses Nate. JQuest says, JETS, Jets. Last 2 years almost killed me. Can't wait till we see true winning. Wouldn't that be nice? Eric says, coaching QB fixed a lot of holes. I'm not expecting Fields to fix a lot of holes. They got to lift Fields up. He could get better. He can improve. Ladies and gentlemen, can we highlight one of the dumbest comments I've seen in all my years doing this? You guys ready for this one? NY to PA writes in, Jake has hated Aaron Glenn ever since he fired his scrub boyfriend Rodgers. Now we're manifesting being awful so we could fire him in a few months. Embarrassing. Give him a chance. If you watch the first 37 minutes of this show and you think I am advocating for Aaron Glenn to be fired, you might lack any brain cells. Seriously. I actually don't even want to make fun of you because it's not nice to make someone so stupid. But I'm going to anyway. You're gone. Bum. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. The funny thing is, I'm the one saying it's ridiculous that they're going to pick number 1. I think they're going to be better than that by a lot. But people hear what they want to hear. But thanks for watching NY to PA. I'm sure you'll comment on this video like you do all my YouTube videos, something negative about me, because you have no life. And look, as long as you watch, man, you've helped pay the bills, so I appreciate it. On that note, let's get to more of your calls, shall we? Call in if you want to talk about really anything. It's all open. Right now, it is time to say hello to our good friend, ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
I wasn't going to call in because I don't really have too much to say, but you touched on Zuerlein. Is it possible? I mean, he had a couple of really super good years, and then was it last year that was disastrous? And I know they drafted a kicker, but is it possible that they give him a tryout for this year and he can turn it around this year? I mean, I don't know kicker's psyche or how that works with the history of kickers or whatever. I mean, if he lost it, I mean, has he lost it forever, or is there a chance he can make a comeback?
I would be surprised if he's their kicker. That said, as long as he's on the team, we have to consider him in a competition with some of the free agent kickers they've added.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all that being said, I would be surprised if he is the kicker this coming year. I mean, the past is the past, and it probably time to move on.
Well, the thing is, you look at kickers, and they're a lot like relief pitchers. Year to year, you never know. So maybe
Right.
Zerline's amazing in camp in the preseason, and he's back to what he was his first 2 years with the Jets. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they could save money by releasing him after June 1. So we'll see what they do post June 1. If he's on the team, then maybe he is in a competition with some of the other free agent kickers they're going to add or have added to the depth chart.
Yeah, going to be interesting. Thank you for your info, Jake.
David, always a pleasure. Let's go Knicks.
Yes, sir. I got my Iron Uji. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Anders Carlson and Greg Zerline on their team. And I think they added a kicker too as a UDFA. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Reminder about the Asmaniac raffle. We got 4 awesome prizes. A signed Aaron Glenn photo. A signed Joe Klecko helmet. A signed Justin Fields helmet. A signed Joe Namath helmet. Full size. In fact, look at this. This right here, folks, in this giant box, is the full-size Namath helmet that I'll send to you. That's why I'm saying the picture is not true to size. This is the box that has the Namath helmet in it and the display case. It is bigger than my head. It's bigger than my body. This is what you're winning if you get the membership and you win it. I feel like I'm raising the Stanley Cup. So gift away for your chance to win the full-size Broadway Joe throwback helmet. All right. And we're back. More of your calls. Let's say hello to one of the all-time greats. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that this guy on the line is pumped up and thrilled about his New York Knicks. He's the king.
What they gonna say now? Huh? Yeah, the clutch is playing the damn NBA, and it ain't even close, damn it. Okay, let me just get this out, cause I'm that excited. All right, after they done pissed me off for 3 damn quarters and 4.5. All right, at the end of the day, baby, that's what the hell you call clutch, and that's what the hell we need for our damn New York Jets, baby. Because at the end of the day, that was just beautiful damn basketball. Jordan ain't have shit on that damn setback 3 on that. He ain't have nothing on Jalen Brunson when he crossed that boy up like that. Let's go Knicks, New York basketball. But we smoking on that Detroit pack today, baby. And I guarantee, baby, it's that K Kush. Let's go, baby. At the end of the day, man, I'm so excited for the Knicks. But let me just say this about the Jets, man. Okay? The draft was cool. I like the draft. The draft was cool. But let me just say this, man. I don't want us to harp on the fact that this coaching staff has to come through. Okay? At the end of the day, These players, all right, have talent. These players have special skills on the field, but the coaching has to bring that specialness out. Okay, I don't even know if that's a word, but he has to bring that out. Okay, now I want to hark back to something you said earlier, Jake, because I completely agree with you. If we have a losing season with this team, and if it's 3 and whatever, 2 and whatever, he has to go. Year 1, he has to go. I don't want to hear nothing else. Okay? He has to go. This team is too damn talented for you not to at least win 7 games. At least 7 games. Okay? I can accept 7. All right? Because it's a young team. We got a lot of new pieces. We got a new head coach. We got a new offensive coach. We got a new everything. I can accept 7 games. I cannot accept anything less than 7. He has to go. He has to go. I completely agree because it is inexcusable for the amount of talent to be on this damn roster and y'all not win some damn games. It's inexcusable. Okay? And I know Aaron Glenn is a man of accountability and achievement. Okay? At the end of the day, son, if that's what you're about, then you need to have your team be about the same damn thing. I don't give a damn. If you lose less than 7 games, he has to go, Jake. I completely agree with you on that. Now, I like I said, I love the draft. I love the players picked up. The wide receiver, he is a little shaky to me. But the hands can be worked on. Catching can be worked on. Catching is a skill, okay? That can be developed, all right? You can't teach speed. You can't teach height. But you can teach a man how to catch the ball, okay? So that needs to be addressed. All of the other picks, I can see where they was going with it. I can see the scheme of it. But it's inexcusable, man. Anything less than 7, inexcusable, Jake. Inexcusable. So I'm there with it, man. I know that the camps are about to start and everything, man. I'm so excited. I'm more excited for my Knicks right now because I'm in the moment. But hey, man, the Jets, we have the talent. We have the talent, and I'm gonna keep saying that, and I'm gonna keep harping on. This coaching staff needs to develop the talent and needs to teach these guys how to win. All right? That's all I'm going to say, man. Have a beautiful Friday, Jake, man. Always good to see you, my brother. JTS! Let's go, Knicks!
Shout out to King Lowski. I just received a text from my friend Christian who just texted me, love King Lowski. We love King Lowski. Lowski fired up about his Knicks. Love that. You know, the thing I'll bring up is, once again, I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to get fired if they go 5 wins, 6 wins. My point was, if this mock draft ends up being true, that the Jets are the worst team in football, they're picking first overall, right? Get rid of the coach. Get rid of everyone. They all got to go. You can't erase that stench of losing. That would tell me Engstrand's not equipped to handle a young quarterback and his development. We have the number 1 pick in the draft. We got to bring in the right head coach. We got to bring in an offensive guy for that quarterback. Or at least a legit coach that has won before. that knows what they're doing. Like that's the point I'm making. I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL, though. I think they have enough talent where they could be a good football team. Like, there's a path to 9-8. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. It happens all the time to other teams, just never us. We're due. That's the point I'm trying to make. Hey, huge shout out to Dan the Jet fan. He is the first Asmaniac 50 minutes in to get the channel membership, baby. Dan, thank you very much for your support. I'm going to skip ahead because I saw you gifted another channel membership. Moneybags Dan. He's in the raffle for 2. Also, Roster Dread 305 is in the raffle for 1. The memberships are flowing, baby. Izzy Blanco got a membership from Roster Dead. Green Truth Dave got a membership from Dan. And the other membership from Dan went to Mr. McMoney. So we're up to 3 raffle entries from gifted memberships thus far. Tyrone with an Asmaniac Super Chat. He's been a member for 12 months. If the Jets are this bad, the offense again, then Glenn needs to look back at his arrogance and bad decision on getting rid of Rodgers and Adams. Yeah, I mean, wait till you see how this fan base reacts. If Rodgers goes, Pittsburgh plays well, and the Jets are the worst team in football, oh my God, that's like the nightmare of all nightmare scenarios. Hennessy says, wait till the schedule release, people will be back in. May 14th. Be there, be square. More calls right now. Nate on a bike in New York City. Hello, Nate.
Can you hear me, Jake?
I hear you, Nate.
Wonderful. Come back to follow. Shout out to Loki. That was a great call. Covered a lot of bases. Like, I've been on the same. I love what he said. Like, dude, fire the coach after year 1 if you're not good enough. I don't know if I'm on the same boat. I guess depending on exactly how the games play out. Like, we don't look like a competent football team, even though we're the worst in the league. I'm almost on the same train. If we lose games like last year, and have 4 or 5 wins, maybe not so much. But I don't know. I'm all on the same plane as Lowski is. We have enough talent to win 7, 8, 9, 10, and fourth quarter games come down to 1 possession, 1 drive, and we saw half a dozen times last year with Rodgers. And why not be the team with the coaching and the less penalties and the more disciplined team that
Nate. Hey, Nate, call back because your audio was a little choppy there, and the wind. So, but I'll get you back on because I do enjoy a Nate call. But I agree with Nate, and I agree with Lowski. Like, this team should not be one of the 3 worst teams in the NFL. They should win at my floor for the Jets with the talent I believe they have should be 7. They should be better than that, but the floor is 7. If the coaching's good, if the coaching's bad, they're going to win 4 or 5 games. That's just the reality. If the coaching's good, they're at least 7. If Fields is way better than we think, they could be better than that. Because you're not winning 10 games without a quarterback. You're just not. Ladies and gentlemen, the king is coming through for the people. 10 of you are about to get channel memberships from our guy, the King Lowski.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
The following 10 Asmaniacs are now officially Asmaniacs. They're channel members, courtesy of the king himself, Mr. King Lowski. My Young Ring, Billy McCain, JetFan 911, Ferris Grimm, Bobby Beasley Looms, TX, TJ, Gangan Sai, Kick Out the Jams Joe, Michael Estrada, Alexander Brown, all receiving a channel membership. We got more. A gifted membership has come through from our next caller. Pork of the Morning has gifted a channel membership. Pork's membership went to listener Stanley Santos. Stanley, you're a channel member, and let's say hello to Pork of the Morning who joins us now. Good morning, Pork.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, Pork?
That guy that gave you shit, who is that, PA to New York? Yeah, he could pound sand.
It's all good, man.
All right. So Yeah, I agree with you. If we're picking first in the draft because we won 2 or 3 games, he's done. He's packing his bags. He's out. He might be out before the season ends if that's how bad he is. But at worst, I see them winning 5 games, 6 games. They are rebuilding, but I see we have way too much talent, and I think he could unlock it. I agree with Lowski. We got to coach these guys up.
Saleh won 4 games with Zach Wilson as his quarterback, a rookie play caller, and he was a first-year head coach. And that roster was way worse. There's no way the Jets are winning less than 4 games.
No, I don't agree with some of what these guys are saying, like on Pro Football Focus and whatnot. I was just listening to them earlier. They were pretty down on him. They're saying, we only got 1 starter out of the draft. I don't really agree with that. I think A.Z. Thomas could start, if he had to. But I'd rather see him, sit and learn for a little while. Membu's going to start. I think Taylor could start right away. So they weren't too big on the Malachi Moore pick. They said, but I don't really care what those guys have to say about it. I just think that we got to coach these guys up. I think Aaron Glenn's the right guy, and we're going to find out. We got to just sit and wait. That's the shitty part about it. I got to watch bad football with the UFL just to get a fix. And sometimes it's really bad, But I go to Chicago in 9 days. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks for work, so I'm going to try to find where Beast lurks. That's where he lives, right? Chicago, somewhere around there.
He's in Illinois somewhere, so you gotta find the Beast. You gotta get in the attic, and you gotta hang out with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get in the attic, but maybe we can get him out to a Cubs game or something. I'm gonna go.
Buenos dias there, Pork of the Morning. How are you?
What's up, Beast? How you doing?
Oh, but before we do anything, Jake, are you there? Do you hear me? I got groundbreaking news. This is the final Bobby Beasley alert. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to hear this. Bobby Beasley did not attend Curie High School. He attended Oak Creek High School in Wisconsin. That's the latest news, ladies and gentlemen. It's all in the bag.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
That's how it's put. And I want to give, as they all saying once, Papa's got a brand new bag. You know who that? You know who sang that? Come on. You should know who sang that song.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
Yeah, that's right. Papa's got a brand new bag already. And congratulations to those New York Knicks for bitch slapping those bum ass Pistons. Hey, Boston, we are coming to kick your ass, and we're gonna kick your ass one way or the other by either boots, sticks, and 3 limbs. We're gonna beat your ass so bad, we're gonna knock your teeth out, and when we're done with you, the only thing you're gonna be scraping up is your own remains out of the toilet because we're gonna flush you.
What kind of hat are you wearing?
What?
What kind of hat are you wearing there?
Come on. You see it right there?
Yeah.
That's right, Jack. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, baby. I've been doing this right here 25 years, baby. 25 and counting. Another 25 more years, it'll be 50. I'm right now at the bronze start. 50 is the silver, but 100 is the gold. So
yeah.
Get ready, New York. Good things are coming. The bad times are dead. The good times are coming. So hey, enjoy it while it lasts because summer's around that corner, and you know what that means. Time to get out to the beach and enjoy those good times because you know what? Hey, to all the fakers, time out. Jake, we got a trouble alert. We got little Joey alert. That's Mr. Bobby Beasley right there. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Stop where you're going because this is Bobby Beasley right here. Expose yourself now. You've been exposed. So, hey, we got ya. We got ya. You're screwed. Now look what you've done, Bobby Beasley. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. It's time for you to go and go for good. Sometime down here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lady.
Everyone be on alert. Beasley might be in the chat. Be careful. Be careful. Pork, I don't think we got any info on where Beast exactly is, but hopefully you can track him down.
No, I mean, once I say like Cubs game, hot dogs, cheesesteaks, stuff like he'll probably, that may lure him out.
Let's hope.
Maybe I'll, get him a 6-pack, maybe some beer, cannabis might get him away. I could get, yeah, I think that'll do it. Food. What is he like? Abagoo, whatever that is stuff. Get him a hoagie or something. I think that could lure Beast out of the lair. And some Iron Maiden music, maybe. So, and then we'll get Beast out in public. We'll see what he can do.
Any update on your pool stick, by the way? The $600 pool stick that was stolen.
No, we're still waiting. I mean, maybe the guy will bring it back or he'll pay me the money. That's all I really want.
He should be locked up.
Or his ass whooped, you know what I mean? That's about it. I mean, I don't want to see anybody go to jail, you know what I mean? But if you're stealing, maybe you have to go to jail. I mean, that's what I do for a living. So, I mean, I catch people stealing money from the government. So.
Well, you know who to call if you ever need a lawyer.
Well, it's Bonesy.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Tremendous. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Devin, who's on the line. Devin, I love the Knicks jersey. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? Hey, I was on BG this morning, and somebody said that Knicks fans like to hear themselves talk. So, I think that person listens to your show. So I don't know if they still listen to your show since you talk for a living and you're a Knicks fan.
I do talk. I can't pay the bills unless I talk.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome, and I love hearing you talk.
Thank you,
man, hey, Jake, this is unbelievable. I'm gonna talk my Jets point later, but I'm trying to be short. Dude, I was watching the game last night. Right, I got in late watching the game. The Jets, the Knicks were on that 15-point run. I started watching, and the fucking Detroit Pistons went up by 1. My wife was like, "You need to stop watching the game."
Have you thought about listening on the radio? Because it seems like every time you watch, bad things happen.
God, dude, for real. So I was like, you know what? Let me go take a shower, watch some of this stench off of me, and put on some Mando.
Nice.
So I was like, I came out the bathroom, and it was in the third quarter, and we're up 9. I was like, yes, we're up 9. Yes, I can watch. My wife was like, if it starts going bad, and you know what happened when you were up 9, it started going bad again. I was like, fuck, man, I can't watch. I say, I gotta watch my team win. This is the closeout game. I gotta watch them win. I was like, you know what? I turned it off. And then I just kept checking the score. And I'm so sorry I missed that Brunson step back. Like, that 3 was just so beautiful. But I'm glad I missed it because we won. So what am I to do for this next series now, bro? What am I to do, Jake?
Look, we have to just see how the first game goes, because maybe it'll be like the reverse of what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. So and with my Jets point, bruh, oh God, if we got the first pick in the draft because we have the worst record, God, you know how I've been saying I got a dream 12-5 season because I got that from you. Dude, I don't know if I could watch, man. I don't know if I could watch. I don't know if I could watch, bro. I don't know if I could come back, man. This is like, oh my gosh. I don't think I've been. You know what it is too. You're at fault because you made me part of this as maniac community, and so every day I become more obsessed with the Jets because of you, because I got to hear what Jake's talking about, and now I'm obsessed. So if I feel like it hurts even more now. But I am happy that I can commiserate with the Jets fans. So I appreciate that.
That's
and I
what we
appreciate
need,
you.
right? The times have been so bad, but we all come here to basically commiserate as one. And then, there's so many other funny non-Jet stuff that happens too that
Yes.
gets us through how bad it's been. So that helps as well.
My wife just got home. I was just telling Jake about how you was telling me not to watch the game last night. What she said?
You're not allowed.
She said you're not allowed.
Start the first quarter in Boston. All right, watching,
All right.
see how it goes. All right, and we'll feel it out because the key is the Knicks just got to win one in Boston somehow to make it a series. That's the key.
Sounds good, Jake. But if we start losing, I know what I got to do. I got to sacrifice.
Respect, love it.
Appreciate you, brother.
You're the man, Devin. Oh man. Comments, questions, super chats. Dark Crypto, thank you for gifting a membership. Mike Dems, thank you for gifting a membership. You're both in the raffle for one. Bang! We got a double bang, by the way, from Mike Breen on the Brunson shot. Last ever MSG Networks playoff game they'll broadcast. Because next year, the first round is no longer being offered to the local networks. It's part of the new TV contract for the NBA. So ESPN, TNT, Amazon. Actually, I don't think TNT's losing the NBA, so it's ESPN, Amazon, and NBC will have all the games. So Clyde will never do another playoff game. So at least he got to call that one. That's the last one. Jake West says, thanks for getting me through doing a deep clean of my bathrooms. They're spotless now. You're welcome, Jake West. Let's check back in with Nate. Hopefully we hear him a little better this time. Hello, Nate.
Test. Is this any better at all?
Yeah. We hear you clear enough.
All right, I got like a little cover on my headphones to try to mask the wind for the show. But I'll get to the Brunson point real quick. Just amazing game, a shot that every Knicks fan will remember for the rest of their lives, especially kids. I think Brunson almost, like you say, he's the most clutch player, right? I think he's almost underrated both as a player and an athlete in New York. What he's doing, the guy can't even dunk the ball. He could barely scrape the rim. He's not a Steph Curry 3-point shooter. He just simply he's built like a fucking fire hydrant. Pardon me, but he's not super athletic. He's not super quick. He doesn't have big strides like Giannis who could just pick up the ball and then Euro step through three people. He's playing the game back like how Clyde Frazier used to play it. He's backing his man down all the way to the court. I mean, he has great footwork and he always plays off of 2 feet. Like I said, he's not Euro stepping. He's not out of control. He's always. It's part of the whole Villanova basketball. Everybody, all their guards play off 2 feet. But he's clearly mastered it, and he just again. If anyone would have told me 5 years ago with Steph Curry and the Giannis's and LeBron dominating the court, that a 6-foot guy who can't play defense, he's not athletic, he can't dunk the ball, he doesn't have he can shoot the ball, but he doesn't have a deadly perimeter shot and a super quick Steph Curry release that could shoot from 32 plus feet, 30 plus feet. What he's doing is so underappreciated. If you have a kid in New York, you need to be watching Jalen Brunson. It's really I think people did the same with Eli Manning, even though we're all four Giants fans, and he's not of that ilk. Jalen Brunson is so much better, in my opinion, of a basketball player than Eli Manning ever was as a football player. But you're living through these moments where in 20 years you can go back and there might be a Jets drought at the Knicks, and they have Donnie Walsh and Phil Jackson running the show type again, even though they'll probably be dead by then. But you get my point. It can always fall back to the norm. So what's going on with just how they're playing and the fact that it's just this revelation of a player. 10 years ago, I work with kids all the time in a summer camp, Jake. In a basketball summer camp, every single jersey was Steph Curry or Giannis. It was in New York City, and that leads to little 4-foot third graders launching up 20-footers, and same with guys that are 7 feet. But it's if the kids grow up who are fans of Jalen Brunson, it's like basketball is coming back again. You can almost relate it to the Jets and Justin Fields. We're going to be seeing a big, Rex Ryan type of offense and defense. Lots of running the ball, and the Eagles prove that can work, and you can win in the NFL. And high potent passing offensive type of league and year that we're in, and you can still win by running the ball and playing good defense and playing man coverage. And I don't know, it's nice to see as a basketball fan, like, wow, these guys are not just abusing the 3-point line, kind of like the Celtics and Warriors do. And on that note, like, I don't know if you saw the odds. The Knicks were about plus 600. You can get them plus 700 in some books to win the series. If you're betting on the Celtics, it's like minus 900. It's ridiculous odds, but there's money to be had there because the Knicks are they're not as good of a team as Boston, in my opinion, but they're not that much short of talent. And if this is the type of series, if Brunson can win it, it elevates them in I'm not going to say all time, but it's like obviously all time in New York. But in the NBA, you're going to think of he took down Tatum and the Celtics. He's going to be a top 5, top 10 player if he wins this series. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much is on the line, sort of in the Brunson legacy that we're all watching unfold in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though, Nate. Like, he can't do it with just him, unfortunately, because Boston is such a complete team. They got more just depth players than the Knicks do. Like, the Knicks really need, a great series from Cat. They need Bridges to play how he played last night. He was phenomenal. It's going to be tough. I mean, the Celtics, the last 2 playoffs, have not played a Game 6. They've been so dominant. So if the Knicks even win 2 games, that's an accomplishment. And I think deep down, you know what the Knicks are waiting on? They're waiting on the Celtics team to break up with all the cap issues they're going to have this offseason. They got new owners coming in. There's all these rumors they're going to have to break up their core because they can't keep everyone together with the new CBA. So we'll see. But this is why, if they can win a couple games and make it interesting, you never know what can happen because injuries happen and it changes everything.
But you're right. Those guys, I think all those role players, they need to step up the first 3 quarters. I just think Thibodeau and Brunson, they've kind of revealed their hands in the playoffs. Like, the 4th quarter is Brunson's. He took 16 shots last night. He was taking almost 2 shots a minute. He was 5 of 16, but he hit him 8. But he hit him when it counted, and he won the game. Like, I agree, it'd be nice to those guys need to keep him in the game, especially when Brunson takes his break in the 2nd and 3rd. But I mean, they also came out hot at halftime, which helped. They were super slow the last 2 games, but I don't know. I thought they made. So
maybe they
it is. But I thought they made the Cat trade for moments like this. Like in the 4th quarter, I thought it was like Brunson, and then you could have Cat operating in the post or out of the short post. It's just he's been so invisible at times, and he even fouled out last night with 9 or 12 points. And
except
I'm hoping they can find a mismatch.
Game 4, he hit every clutch shot and helped them win that game on the road with the comeback. So that's the version.
True, yeah, he had that step back 3 and that turnaround. Those 5 points were really impressive. He didn't have all his shots, but he hit them when they counted. But yeah, he's going to be a factor next series. And you put them roster side by side, they're just as talented as the Celtics. Gary talked about it preseason, and it's really true. It can happen, Like you said, they got to get one on the road.
100%. And you win one on the road, all of a sudden it doesn't matter if you didn't beat them in the regular season.
You
gain confidence.
When a team wins the championship, the next year they've got that swag and that hangover of even when they're down 2-1, they assume they're going to even up the series, right? Because they're the Celtics and they just won a championship this year. Just they got to come at them. If they're the more hungry team, and hopefully the refs are they get a similar crew, maybe not the same crew, but a crew that's letting them play a bit, because that. Detroit was a physical team, but I don't know if Boston will handle the physicality as well as Detroit did.
Nate, all of a sudden, it doesn't sound as windy where you are, so new angle for you.
Downtown, maybe lots of buildings.
Love it. Enjoy downtown.
Will do. Have a good one, Jake. Talk to you
Nate
soon.
on the bike, baby. Love it. Dominic has gifted a channel membership. Dominic's in the raffle for one. Dominic's membership went to listener Mr. Roberts. I don't think the Knicks are going to beat the Celtics. I hope they can make it interesting and just give yourself a shot. It's house money. No one's picking you. I think if they are going to have any chance, they needed the win last night because the idea of winning a Game 7 at MSG and how exhausting what that would take and then having to go up to Boston for Monday Game 1, you're already losing Game 1. And then you have one chance to win Game 2. You could be down 0-2 before you even blink. At least now you get today, tomorrow, Sunday, take a breath, reset, and then go. Am I banking on it? No, but you play the games, And if it's close in the 4th quarter, you have a chance with Jalen. You do. He's the clutch player in the NBA for a reason. He's done this now 3 playoffs in a row. It really is amazing. And Brunson gets the most out of his ability. He's not the most athletic. He's not the tallest. He has unbelievable footwork, unbelievable poise. Certain guys are just better in the clutch. The idea that, the nerds, the analytic people will tell you, oh, there's no such thing as a stat to quantify clutch. You know when a guy's clutch. You see it. But Boston's, they're the champs. Once again, no one has taken the Boston to game 6 in 2 years. So it's a real challenge. But they're not 100% healthy. They're banged up. So you play the games, you'll see. They're the ones with all the pressure. The Knicks, Nate said minus 900. I saw minus 1,000 before the show started. Devin just gifted 5 channel memberships. He's in the raffle for 5. Once again, a Jets full-size Broadway Joe helmet's on the line. A Justin Fields sign helmet, a Joe Klecko sign helmet, and an Aaron Glenn sign helmet. Following 5 people are channel members: Brandon Hare, Joe the Jet, Andrew Fialco, David Dean, Mongo Horse Punch. Nick Shine has gifted a channel membership. Nick Shine's membership went to listener Carl DuBois. Carl, you thank Nick Shine. Pork of the Morning says, can there be a dance-off at the next Asmaniac event? If so, I may travel to be a part of it. 6th inning, Yankees, A's, June 29th, Pork of the Morning. A YMCA dance-off for the Asmaniacs in Section 223. Be there or be square. More of your calls right now. Go Knicks, Jets 1-16 ? Is on the line. Hello, sir.
Hey man, good morning, Jake. Yeah, man, that Jalen Brunson crossover. I watched it like 25 times last night. I just kept replaying it. This shit was incredible.
And Asar Thompson's a great defender and had defended Brunson really well. So to somehow create that kind of space in that moment, unreal.
I love seeing him get cooked. That was fun. I didn't hate to be. I'm not trying to be mean, but like it was fun because he's kind of like he's a cocky player a little bit. I mean, as you should be confident. But I like seeing him get cooked. Brunson game on the line. It was like Jordan-esque. That was one of the best Knicks moments I've ever experienced in a while. And as far as the Jets go, man, I think it's possible. Like I would be shocked if we went 1-16, but and get the number 1 pick. But I don't know. I don't really like Aaron Glenn. I mean, I know it's a little early.
You think he's going to be worse than Salah, who in his first year won 4 games with a way worse roster?
I hope not. He shouldn't. The thing is like my concern with this team is that I feel like we were a contending team and we just got rid of a few players. But this team seems like they're acting like they want to. I'm afraid they're acting like they want to rebuild, and they're not in a to me, I feel like they're not in a big rebuild. They're in like maybe like a little mini rebuild where they could get some pieces and still be competitive this year. I hope they don't think this is a rebuild. If I don't know. I think we should fire them off if we just go 3 wins. I don't agree with I don't know. I just don't really like how they've been. I know it's early and I got to give them some grace and be patient, but so far I'm not really a fan, but we'll see.
I mean, they haven't played a game yet.
Yeah, but I just don't like the moves they make and like so.
Did you like the draft?
No, I like not really. Like the 4th round pick was egregious. Other than that,
but it's a 4th round pick. Did you like the 1st and 2nd and 3rd round picks?
I would say, yeah, for sure. I mean, Membu, I wasn't really like clamoring for Membu, but I understand the pick. Where else I would go other than Membu? I mean, Ted McMillan.
You think Membu is going to be a good right tackle?
There's so many right tackles that they could have picked. Ezeri got drafted in the 3rd round. I think it was a bullshit. I'm not bullshit. I think it made sense, but I think we could have attacked a good tackle in 2nd, 3rd round easily.
I don't know if they could have.
I mean, the Texans got Ezeri in the 3rd round, and we had to pick before them. So I think I'm just saying we could, but he's a big. I'm not saying Ezeri's Membu. He's not, but I'm just saying. I mean, Connerly, he was gone, but there were some guys we could have taken. I mean, I know you don't know how. We don't know. None of us know how the draft is going to play out. So they probably wanted Membu, and I understand it. But I think Ted McMillan would have been a better option to complement Garrett Wilson. That's just, Ty Warren. I'm glad we didn't pick Tyler Warren. I love the Mason Taylor pick. We could all agree on that. As far as,
if you like the Mason Taylor pick, he would not have been there.
In the second round.
They had to take him at 42 then, and they took Membu, who's a really good right tackle, at 7. So didn't they get better value? If you like Taylor, didn't they do better then with Membu and Taylor than say Warren and Oriante Ursary, who's nowhere near the level of prospect or talent as Armand Membu?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, you got to take your, you can't get all the top players, so you got to, like, they want Membu, and I get it, but I just think
you're being very hard on Glenn if you're saying yourself you like their first couple picks.
Nah, I get it. Nah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I really not. I really like I'm a Jets fan, it's just we've been disappointed so many times. It's really hard to it's been rough, man. I get
it, but that's not Glenn's fault. He still deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he's not responsible for the playoff drought.
Yeah, I still think Ted McMillan would really help the team a lot.
Look, you're not crazy for saying that. If Ted ends up being a great player, we're gonna say, why didn't they have a high evaluation on him? Why didn't they take him? It's not like he went that far after. What did he go 8 to Carolina? He was like right after the Jets.
Pick after, and yeah, but they got their Drake London. We'll see about that, but yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that. It's just hard, man, because the way they let Aaron Rodgers go was kind of brutal. I thought they could have handled that a little gracefully. I feel like they were weird about it. It felt weird about how they handled it. It felt weird.
I disagreed with moving on from him, but the idea that they're going to be 1-16, no chance.
No, I hope not. That's why I put the question mark. But
dude, they won 4 games with Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson in 2021
with an amazing defense.
They were 32nd in defense in 2021.
Shit, I thought 2022 then they were defense, but
yeah, they won 7 games that year. They started 6-3 and then they fell apart.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we do. I'm excited to see
how you think this team is going to go 1-16. You think there is a legit possibility of 1-16? That's crazy to me. And I'm not even I didn't want Glenn because I didn't want a first-time head coach. But unless this guy is Jeff Ulbrich reincarnated, how are they going to go 1-16?
I hope not. I hope we don't get the number 1 pick. I absolutely hope not. But at the same time, it's like
if they go 1-16, I will want everyone fired. They will not go 1-16.
But even 3 or 4 and 6, 12. 12 and whatever it is.
If they finish with 3 wins or less, I would argue might be time to clean house too with the whole coaching staff because you don't have a head coach if you're only winning 3 games with this roster.
I feel like bare minimum 7 wins, and I'll give them another shot. But
I think their floor is around 6 or 7. If they get okay quarterback play. If Fields is terrible, they're probably around a 4 or 5 win team.
It feels a lot of this depends on Fields. I feel like a little bit like if he really kills it, they're gonna look like geniuses, and then they're gonna be good for a while. They're gonna give him a lot more grace. So hopefully
You're being called the worst caller in the history of the show. Would you like to respond?
I don't give a shit. I'm not a Beast Breaker. I like Beast Breaker.
Whoa, you don't think Beast is a good caller?
No, he's a great caller, but I'm not gonna just talk about. I like to talk about sports. Keep it. I'm not trying to be super goofy or anything like that. I could be. But
what about Bobby Beasley?
Bobby Beasley. I don't know who that guy is, but I like Knoble. That guy's the fucking man. I wish I got his autograph. Chiefs fan. Got a lot of good callers here. A lot of great callers. Yeah. All love to those guys. And yeah, man. I just want to talk to you a little bit about Jets. I'm sorry if I'm boring, but I don't really got anything crazy for me to do right now. I mean, maybe I could. I don't know. Gator could add some. Nah, I don't want Gator to do anything.
I'll calm you down. All right. The Jets are not going 1-16. All right. Go Knicks, comma. Jets 1-16 question mark. No, they're not going 1-16. They're not that bad. They're not. I don't think they're that great, but their win total is 5.5. They're not. It's not a 2. Let's address a comment here that just once again takes things I say completely out of context. Yo Holmes says, I'm not giving this new regime the benefit of the doubt. Jake said repeatedly he's not giving this new regime the benefit of the doubt. Madness, anyone? You're talking about two separate things. I'm saying if the Jets go out there and finish with the worst record in football, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt that it takes time and they need another year. I'm saying get rid of them. They're incompetent if this roster is 1-16. That's what I'm saying. I'm also saying to our last caller, they're not going to go 1-16. Give this regime a chance to prove they're not that incompetent. That's what I'm saying. Give them the benefit of the doubt that Aaron Glenn will not be worse than Robert Saleh in his first year with a way worse roster when they went 4-13. That's what I'm saying, Yo Holmes. You understand? I don't think it's that hard to follow. For you, it might be. And big picture, I'm not giving this regime the benefit of the doubt of this is a 3-year rebuild. No, they get 2 years to make the playoffs. If they don't, there's a chance they're not here for the 3rd year. That's what I'm talking about. There's no 4 or 5 year rebuilds in the NFL anymore. Ask Washington, Denver, Detroit, Houston. This is recently. Giants went 9-7-1 with Daniel Jones and won a playoff game with him. With the same coach and GM that everyone in their fan base wanted fired at the end of this year. That's my point with not giving the regime, from a big picture standpoint, the benefit of the doubt. We have to give them the benefit of the doubt before they coach a game. That's my point. It's two separate conversations here. If they're the worst team in the NFL, they should be gone. That's what I've said. I'm also sitting here telling you that they're going to get this year, they're going to get next year. But then if they don't make the playoffs at the end of the 2nd year, guess what? If they survive it, let's say they go 9-8 like the Lions did. Dan Campbell got a 3rd year because after they started 1-7, they finished 9-8 with momentum. And then they built on it with a great draft, great offseason. And guess what? They were in the NFC Championship game. And then they were the number 1 seed in the playoffs this year. Like they were building something. 9-8 at the end of year 2, but they're building something. They'll go into year 3 with a playoff mandate. That's what we're talking about here. But our last caller is saying 1-16, no way. And if they do go 1-16, we don't have a head coach. And if we're picking number 1 and we're taking a quarterback, I need to get a real coach that can coach that guy. Either someone who's been great before or the best offensive guy that could develop that guy. That's what we're talking about. Anthony in the Asmaniac raffle for 10. Let's go. If you hear your name called, these are from Anthony, who's in our Asmaniac raffle for 10 new members. Here we go. Let me get the names here. King Blaze, Ryan McCarthy, Slaps, Fab 5, Garrett Loescher. Jets are not going to be the worst team in the NFL, and if they are, shoot me. Rich Rise, B. Cole, Van Diddy, Peter Borbio, and Mark Moose, all receiving channel memberships. Let's go. All right. We will get right back to your calls. Home stretch of the show. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please, please, please do so. Jake Asman with you. Back with more right after this.
The New York Jets.
Come on!
Select Will McDonald, linebacker,
What?
Iowa State.
What the
Let's
fuck?
go.
I can't believe this shit!
All
What
right.
the fuck are we doing?
Hey, there we go. Light it up, Ricky. Yeah. Let's get back to your calls right now. One of our favorites is on the Ghostbuster hotline. Ricky NY joins us now. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Ricky. How you doing?
Thanks for taking my call, Jake. I just finished smoking all the available weed in the panhandle, so bear with me if I collapse here in front of my personalized flag. Any chance you could send that boxing guy, Gary, to the Jameis Winston town? Maybe Gator can build a special hall for quarterbacks who throw more interceptions than completed passes. Well, not a Florida guy, but can go to Seminoles all the way here. If you got a whole lot, just get all of them in there. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I got to relight this thing. Hold on a second. I just got this new blowtorch lighter. Let's try it out. Try it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have backed off that setting a bit. Anyway, Jake, I'll hang up for now and grab the burn kit again. Later, brother.
Oh my God. Yo, Gator is different, man. That dude is different. Let's keep going with the calls right now. It looks like, wow, I cannot believe this guy actually showed his face. A man who owes us 25 memberships in honor of 25 career interceptions by Zach Wilson. Hawk has called in for the very first time. Hello, Hawk.
Hey, Tyson, what's up, man? Hey, Jake, before you send me to the Shadow Realm, let me ask Tyson about Zach. Tyson, don't you think we can keep Zach Wilson and just let him start the first few games? I mean, we all know the kid just needs another year behind center, and that'll really get him going. I mean, Crowan, man, you know he's freaking awesome, bro. Well.
Oh, man, you're killing me.
Hawk, thank you for calling in, and we'll see you in the realm.
Into the Shadow Realm you go. That's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. This guy is a cancer that's metastasized throughout the entire building in Florham Park. And I don't know why Jets fans can't see it.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Whoa. You don't need a... All right, we're back. Let's get right to more of your calls. Reminder, super chats continue to cut the line. The Nick Shine is on the line. Hello, Nick.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, I forgot to buy my ticket, by the way.
We're doing it in the morning, just in case it gets rained out.
You're selling them?
For tomorrow?
To the gun show?
Sorry. I didn't mean to come in.
I was too excited. I had to get rid of you. Just kidding. How are you?
You're not the first one to do that to me.
Oh, baby.
So, a couple things. I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hotter than normal. I know, first of all, what are we doing talking about a rebuild? Like, this team is set at offensive line. They're set at running back. They're set at linebacker. They're set at secondary. They're pretty much set at the end if Jermaine Johnson comes back the way Jermaine Johnson can. Just because we don't like the defensive tackles, I'll put my trust in Wilkes and Glenn that they do, right? Like, this was a really good draft to get a D tackle. They got a plan. And it's because we don't know the plan and we don't know how to utilize them and we don't know what they're going to do. Here's something. It's a crazy idea, right? When it's time to run the ball for the team, they're not just going to have 4 guys down with 2 D tackles, 2 D ends, linebacker standing 5 yards back. They're going to get creative. They're going to have a unique team, unique attack, and they're going to do this thing that's called blitzing. Some of you can Google it. We haven't really seen that too much. But their scheme is going to make them better and make them play better. Instead of just standing there with 4 down in the grass all the time. They could do a thing where they bring in multiple D tackles. You watch Detroit film, Detroit was doing a whole bunch of different things on the front. Yeah, had a great player in Hutchinson. He went down. So what do you do then? They were mixing and matching. They were bringing in 3 defensive tackles at times and having the outside guys stand. They throw like a 3-4 look. They throw a 5-2 look occasionally. They're going to mix it up to make it difficult for the offense to do what they want to do. I love that approach. That was my approach as a defensive coach. What do you run? Whatever it takes to win that game. I'm not going to paint myself into a corner with what we run and say we have to run this scheme. This is the only thing that we're going to do. Look at how that worked with Salah, right? We're not in a rebuild. We're just looking for a quarterback. If Fields can become the quarterback and have that outburst and that breakout, and they find a way to coach him up and they make the game simple for him, we could be a really good team because we have everything else. And in terms of number 1 pick in the 2026 mock, let me break news to everyone here. Do you know why people, when they release their articles, target the Jets? Because it will be talked about, it will be retweeted, it will be shared, it will be breaking news, and you will do free promotion for them by sharing it, tweeting it, and discussing it. That's why they're throwing a 2026 mock, which nobody will care about, with the Jets at number 1. Why? Because we're going to talk. and we're going to embrace it, and we're going to hold that dear to heart and be offended by it over an opinion, over a year away mock draft. That doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. How you doing, buddy?
I agree. I think it just points out if they are that bad, then let's not talk about which quarterback we're going to take a year from now. We have no idea how it's going to go in the college football season, how the interviews are going to go and the workouts. Let's just talk about we don't have a head coach. We got to start over again. That was my point. But I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. I think they're going to be probably picking outside the top 5. I think there's a scenario where they pick outside the top 10. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. Like, there's no way with the talent they have, they're that bad.
Yeah. Realistically looking at it, right? If the team stays healthy, I think you're looking between the team that picks between 10 and 15, maybe just on the outside of the playoffs looking in. But the most important thing about this is as the year goes on, as they get familiar with the scheme, as they start to develop and open up that scheme, the trajectory hill, right? You see a team progressively getting better week after week after week. You see the run game getting better. You see Fields getting better. The defense is shutting teams down. They're getting stops in the red zone. Everyone's getting more comfortable in the scheme and growing and building and developing, putting those building blocks in for the future. That's the goal this year, right? Get better as the season goes on, look like a contender late, nail next offseason in the draft, and then be a contender for years to come in year 2. That's the plan.
Yeah, I look, if they have a real coach, they're going to not be an awful team. They could go 8-9. They can go 9-8. Like if Glenn is coach of the year, Mangini 06, they're going to win games. They are. The schedule's not brutal. It's just not. The defense should be a lot better. They have a real plan on offense. There's a lot of unknowns, and that's why I lean with them not being an 8 or 9 win team. They're probably under that, but there's no way they're under a 4-win team. They won 4 games with Robert Saleh with a way worse roster in year 1.
And you look at this roster now. What's the complaints? Question mark at quarterback. I get it. Yep. That's a big one. I'm not trying to diminish that, right? That's a big question mark with
receiver 2, DT. Nowadays. Yeah.
DT, wide receiver 2. Where else are you complaining? Not you. I'm just saying in general. I'm not coming at you with that question. But where else are you complaining? There's playoff teams that have more holes than that.
Because they have the quarterback, and that's the unknown.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if Fields can elevate, if they can, there's something to be said about having a mobile quarterback where you can set up a misdirection scheme, the run game, the threat of Fields, giving it to Hall, pulling it and taking it off, and taking off with it. That freezes the defense. That could be enough where Hall now gashes and takes it. Something we haven't seen him really do since that rookie year in Denver before he got hurt. But having the threat of that mobile quarterback, play action, bootlegs, put him in high percentage throws, roll him out, give him 2 reads. You got the tight end dragon, or you got Smith or Wilson going deep. Give him favorable situations until he gets comfortable in the scheme, and you can expand the scheme week after week after week. We're not going to see a finished product week 1. That's not how it works with a new offensive system and a new quarterback. So I think the goal this year for fans to have a realistic goal is see where we are at the starting point. Probably going to play good defense off the bat, right? That's easier. It's always easier to adapt to a new defensive scheme, and then just build upon that. But run game going and watch Fields develop. Now, if Fields comes out lightning hot, we're ahead of the curve. And for lightning hot for Fields, I mean, if he's completing 65% of his passes, he's running for 60, 70 yards a game. Maybe he only throws for 200, but it's high. It's great efficiency on 3rd down in the red zone. That's what you're asking for. You're not asking for him to be Lamar, Mahomes. I mean, even Mahomes didn't have a great statistical this season here, but he's highly efficient, right? He gets it done when he needs to. But we're not asking him to be the MVP. We're asking him to play competent football, move the chains, and be a dual threat that freezes the defense and opens up both the passing game and the run game.
Yep.
That's the realistic outlook for this offense.
And if they do that, right, they actually could have a plan and execute it. It'd be some of the best coaching we've seen in about 15 years for this organization.
And why can't they? Turner just came from, I don't know, his dad is the greatest run game coordinator in the history of the NFL, right? I think you look at North Turner and what he's done as a coach with the run game. That's a great resource for them to lean on. That's a great resource for them to like, hey, Dad, we're playing Miami in 2 weeks. I already got it, son. Don't worry. I'm sending you the emails now. This is where I think you can exploit them in the run game. This is how I would attack it. You have that resource not in the building, but in the family. Turner also got promoted to offensive coordinator last year in Oakland or Las Vegas. I'm always going to say Oakland. I just got used to saying Oakland when they moved from LA, and now they moved in. So I'm going to say Oakland for a while. He did pretty well with opening up Brock Bowers, right? He started as the passing game coordinator in Vegas and then elevated to offensive coordinator. So there's a good sign. And then Engstrand's been the passing game coordinator in Detroit, where they get the ball downfield. So why can't it work here? And I think too many people want to be negative. I get it. We're the kick dog, right? We're the abused dog. We know we're not going to get better. We know we're not going out for a walk. But when the owner comes
easier
home,
to be
we're gonna
negative.
Wagging our tail at the front door, hoping this is the time he takes care of us.
Yep. I get it. I get it. Now, Nick, heads up before you go live on whatever your next show is. Reset your Wi-Fi router. You have the little crackly in and out with a couple of your words.
All right. I set up the new. I got a new headset and a new microphone.
You sound good. It's your internet connection.
Okay. Oh, I'm on Google Chrome. I can open up Edge.
Well, yep. That Google Chrome is like the worst for StreamYard.
All right. I was already in the studio and I didn't want to change and get bumped in the end of the line.
You're good. You were making too many good points. I was just like, let him roll. He's on fire.
Thank you. You're good for tomorrow for the Yankee game?
Yeah, weather permitting, right?
Yeah. So that's why when you mentioned tickets before, I'm like, we're gonna get them.
I know.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna meet at Bonesy's for like 10:30 and see him. If it's bad weather, if the game's canceled, we'll go hang out. We'll go get lunch. We'll hang with Craig, and then hopefully the game's on. If not, that's the backup plan, right? We'll get some lunch, hang out for a bit, watch a game or something, and then go our separate ways.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be fun. It's always great when we all get together.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine, who I'll see in living color tomorrow. Like the video if you haven't. Home stretch here. Last chance to get in. You know what? Nick, stay right there. Do you think safety is an issue from Big Fella?
I don't think it's an issue. I do like.
It's not a strength. I don't know if it's a weakness yet, though. We got to see how Cisco bounces back in this scheme and who the other safety is. Are they going to move Stevens?
Tony Adams up, right? Can they get Tony Adams to play in their scheme the way they want? And I think the goal with Malachi Moore is if Moore can sit for a year, be that third safety, special team contributor, and then maybe if they really like his progression throughout the year, go on and move on from Cisco, who's just a 1-year deal, and let Moore be the next guy stepping in. So I think that's their plan. But not every room is going to be loved, right? Like even championship teams have rooms they look to upgrade. But I think safety, with the way the corners are, I'm okay with the safeties because I think our cornerbacks are really good. I think we could have one of the cornerback groups in the league. You got two throw.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine. Nick, your ear at the end there was like, now you just froze. Hopefully you get that. It's probably Google Chrome, though. I think you know what it is. Good stuff from Nick. Subscribe to his channel. Real quick, this is from Josh P., who says, new regimes have not worked for us. Every new regime has not developed a QB. We all have opportunities, and we've always felt on our faces. Tough to have faith in this organization. Totally get it. I mean, the Lions fans were saying the same thing, and they got it right with their hires. Josh, I don't know if you're a Knicks fan, but the Knicks were a bigger mess than the Jets as far as team success goes over the last 25 years. Dolan didn't sell the team. He just hired good people. Woody's not selling the team. But they have won with Woody Johnson as the owner before. You know, they made the playoffs 6 times in Woody's first 12 years owning the team. K-Rock, if we go 8-9 and Fields looks good, are we drafting a QB? I guess it depends on how good does he look. Is he competent? Is he a game manager, or is he winning you games? Tyrod Taylor played decent for the Bills when they made the playoffs and ended a 17-year drought. We know the Jet drought is at 14. They still traded up for Josh Allen. Andy Reid was going to the playoffs with Alex Smith. They still traded up to get Patrick Mahomes. Tom Savage and Ryan Mallett were not good, but they were good enough in a bad division to go 9-7 with the Texans. They still traded up for Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco was still okay enough to get the Ravens into the playoffs. They still moved back into round 1 to get Lamar Jackson. You see my point? It's going to depend on what it looks like. Now, if Fields plays like Baker Mayfield, he's the guy. Plays like Sam Darnold, he's the guy. But if he's good, not great, could the Jets, if they like someone, still get a quarterback? For sure. It's going to depend on how it looks. Last chance here. Jetaholic, close us out. What do you got, Jetaholic?
Hey, Jake. So first thing, I do want to say good luck to the Knicks fans. It's going to definitely be tough against Boston. But I think Boston's probably going to end up repeating. But the Knicks have a chance to surprise people. I feel like maybe they could at least take it to, maybe game 6. I mean, what's your confidence in this series?
I think Boston's going to win. I do think that it's not a foregone conclusion that the Knicks can't make it a series. I think the key to that is steal one of the first 2 on the road, and all of a sudden, Boston feels a little pressure. Like, they haven't really been challenged. And the Knicks have a great closer. So if they could get these games close, they got a chance. That's just how it goes. Like in the NBA, you got a guy who can hit big shots late. When it becomes a lot of isolation and you're best against them, you got a chance. So I'm hoping that they can make it a series, but there's a reason why Boston hasn't had a playoff series go 6 games in the last 2 years. They're really, really good. They're the favorites to win the whole thing. I picked them to go to the
It
finals.
froze on my screen. Is that me?
I think it might be you, Jetaholic. You hear me? Hello? We don't have them. You guys hear me? Am I on? I think I'm still on. I think it was Jetaholic. There's a reason why Boston is the favorites they are. But we will see. Since that call got cut short, unfortunately, with Jetaholic's internet, we need a new closer. To the lair we go.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
I just got a new video that I just made on Instagram. Are you guys ready to get down and get funky with it? I hope you're all ready, because the new video that I just posted, sit back and buckle up, because the ride is just the beginning. So this morning was the beginning of the end for Bobby Beasley. When I already let Jake hit the alarm. Somebody's chicken shit yellow ass just got caught with his pants all the way down by his ankles. And boy, I told you this day was coming, and I told you I'm gonna get your ass, Beasley. And now your days on the Jake Asman show are ticking. That means game over. You're exposed. You are exposed to life. You're a liar. A big one. You've never attended Geary? You attended Oak Creek High School. We got you right by the balls. So boy, I would say you better run for the hills, and you better stay off the internet, because you're gonna get exposed worldwide, all over the world. And your time on the clock is running out. You got no proof on me. You have no escape against me. You're screwed. Because ese vato, I told you, Holmes, when I say I'm gonna get your ass, I'm gonna get your ass. I told you, and I told you. Your ass is grass, and we're gonna get you. Yes, Maniacs, Gator, Jake, me, Bonesy, Dustin, Tyler, we're all gonna kick your ass. And when we do,
your days on the Jake Asman Show are going to be short-lived, and you are going to say bye-bye, and you can start your brand new gay channel. And you know what? You can take Alan, and you can take whoever, but you know what? You're staying off the Jake Asman Show for life. Because as of right now, your days are over with. This war between you and me are done because I've already exposed you for who you are, for the fraud you are. Because you are a fraud.
You get the fuck out.
All right. Bobby Beasley. Watch out. Beastbreaker has spoken again. We're still waiting for Beasley to call back in since the first encounter. Still waiting. On that note, we're back in the afternoon. Hit the like button. If you want to join us at Yankee Stadium, about 30 tickets left. You got to be a Patreon user. It's first come, first serve for Patreon people. Once we run out, or once Monday hits and I still have any tickets, then I'll open it up to anyone else who wants to join. But this is a great way to join the Patreon. Just $5 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and you get all the perks like bonus shows, Discord access, name in the intro, access to events, info about the show, and a whole lot more. Again, thank you all for being the best listeners. Thank you all for watching. Let's go, Knicks. I will talk to you guys this afternoon. Jets. Jets.
Hey, Jake, how are you? I'm at one of my favorite cafes called Liberty Bagel.
Do you think the guy in the blue knows he's on one of the biggest shows on YouTube right now? Ask him if he's a Jet fan.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you a Jet fan? He's a soccer fan. This is Jake Asman. He is an ESPN radio show host and a YouTuber like me, but he's been doing it longer than me.
Hi, Jake. Good morning.
How's it going? You guys don't know this, but the guy in front of you there, right? Charles, explain to them as Maniac Madness and tell them that you're the number one seed in the tournament.
He named the region after my mom's chicken soup. It's not Asman, it's Asman. She found your channel, dude. I'm so sorry about this.
Steady Eddie, I need you to tell me right now how much your sandwich and your brother's sandwich was total.
$44.18.
What the heck did you guys order? Charles, I just sent you a Venmo. Now look at this mug. Does this sandwich cure cancer? Is that why it's so much money? Thank the people behind you there for being willing to come on the show.
They left already.
Oh, I wonder why. Hey, real quick, Kyle, I got some breaking news here. This is the couple from the table. How about you pay for our food too, since you ruined our breakfast? At Dominic Ciampi, Venmo, please. This is quite the turn of events here. Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table is calling in. Is this real?
It's only $30, not 50.
Ours was only 30.
So Charles comes over to you. What did you think was happening?
I was very confused. He was talking a lot about his new home and stuff behind us loudly, and then he just came up at us.
The chat is very mixed whether or not I should send you guys the $30. I'm seeing some comments here saying, don't go for it, Jake. Rick says only pay them if they subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to need at least both of you to subscribe.
All
right. I'm leaning towards paying them the $30 here. Should I pay this couple $30 after their Charles Gorman experience at lunch?
I did not have on my bingo card that I would have my call hijacked by some random Jersey cafe couple this morning. This show never fails to surprise and delight. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta.
You probably did him a favor because this country is totally overrun by useless carbs, but you did interrupt their breakfast. Like, I would not be as friendly.
We should pay those couple. They coin your show. That's a big thing.
I agree.
You got 2 customers now.
This looks like blue hooded sweatshirt guy, right? Everyone see this? Dave Briga is vehemently against me paying for this couple's food.
How down bad do you have to be to beg for $30 on the internet?
Wow, they're still watching the show. The couple's still watching the show. Look at this.
That's great. That's great. So if you're sitting there at a restaurant and someone comes up and bothers you, Jake Asman in New York should pay for your lunch. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
I think it's the least Jake can do is give him $30.
You're not very intelligent. Why is that Jake's responsibility? Someone cut the cord to your internet. I'm not listening. No, I can't hear it.
Order.
Hey, Dixon, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. Not sitting outside a restaurant with my mug and asking for change. What's going on?
It's not an expensive-ass restaurant, and I'm not begging for money. I have a great job.
You literally typed in the chat and said
You're doing it for free. You're the idiot.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing?
Incredible. Yeah, your life is sitting on a show and not getting paid for it. You're great content.
Thank you, Jake.
You make him money.
That's crazy. Dixon, don't be so upsetty, spaghetti.
That's my line. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, I don't even know you, but I didn't mean to take your line. It's okay. You can take it back. Toodles!
Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table. Unbelievable.
I think the second one, excuse me,